In this video, we're going to learn about while loops in Python. So while loops allow us to repeat the execution of a block of code. Oftentimes when solving problems in computer programming, it's necessary to repeat the execution of a block of code. Let's go over a basic example of a while loop. So first, we'll create a variable called I, and we'll set it to 1. I is going to be what's called our counter variable. It's going to help us to run the loop. Next we'll have our loop. We'll have while I is less than or equal to 3. And this here will create the while loop. I is less than or equal to 3 is what's called the loop condition. If this condition is true, the loop is going to continue to execute. And if this condition is false, the loop is going to stop executing. Next we can have our block of statements that's going to execute again and again. So we could have here print I to output I, and then we'll have I plus equals 1. So in our block of statements, we're updating the counter variable that's helping us to control how many times the loop is going to execute. Then after this loop is done, we'll output here loop done. So we can save our program and then run it to test it out. And we get 1, 2, 3, and then loop done as output. And what's happening here is that we first initialize I to 1. This condition is going to be checked, and if the condition is true, then this block of statements is going to execute. If the condition is false, then execution is going to jump down here to the first statement below the loop. Now initially with I being set to 1, 1 is less than or equal to 3. So this block of statements is going to execute. And we're going to output I, which is going to be 1. Then we're going to increment I by 1, and I is now going to be 2. This condition will then be checked again, and 2 is less than or equal to 3. So the loop body is going to execute again. We're going to output I is going to be 2, and we're going to output 2. We're again going to increment I by 1, and I will now be 3. The condition will be checked again. 3 is less than or equal to 3. So again, we're going to output I, so we're going to output 3 here. Then we're going to increment I by 1. I will now be 4. 4 is not less than or equal to 3. So this condition is now false, and the loop is going to stop. Execution is going to jump down here to this print function call, and we're going to output loop done over here. So that's how our loop executes. Now we call I a counter variable because I helps us to manage how many times the loop is going to execute. We initialized I to 1. We have this condition that checks I, and then here we update I. Those 3 steps of initializing a counter variable, checking the counter variable in a condition, and then updating the counter variable are very common to see in loops. Now to create the block of statements for our while loop, we indented the group of statements in the same way. So here we indented each statement by 4 spaces, which is the recommended practice in Python. Now we could try modifying this while loop condition. Instead of I is less than or equal to 3, we could have while I is less than or equal to 10. And this will then output the numbers from 1 to 10. So if we save the program and try it out, we now get the numbers from 1 to 10. And the exact same process is occurring. But this time, the loop is only going to stop when I reaches 11. So we can use the counter variable together with the loop condition to manipulate how the loop is going to execute. For example, we could increment I by 2 with each loop iteration, and this will give us the odd numbers between 1 and 10. So if we save our program and run it, now we get 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. And that's because even though I still starts off as 1, we now increment I by 2 with each loop iteration. So I goes from 1 to 3 to 5 to 7 to 9. The loop still stops once I is no longer less than or equal to 10. So once I becomes 11, the loop is still going to stop. Now one thing we need to be aware of with our counter variable is that we do need to update it. If we don't update our counter variable, then our loop may never stop. So for example, let's take out this statement here. We'll put this statement inside a comment to stop it from executing. We call this commenting code out. So we can save this program now and try it out. And look at this. the program just continually outputs 1. So what's happening here is that the loop never stops. I is set to 1, and then we output I with each loop iteration. But I is never incremented. So this condition is always going to be true, because 1 is always going to be less than or equal to 10. So the loop is never going to stop. We call this situation an infinite loop. Very often, infinite loops are created by accident when we forget to update the counter variable for our loop. So we should be mindful of this. Now it's possible that our loop body will never execute. So for example, if we had here I is equal to 11, this condition here will never be true, and our loop body will never execute. So we can save our program and test it out. And now all we get is loop done. And that's because the loop condition is never true, and so our loop body never executes. Let's switch it back to what we had before. We'll have here I is equal to 1, and then here we'll have I plus equals 1. And now if we save our program and run it, it's going to be back to outputting the numbers from 1 to 10. Now there's a keyword called break that we can use to stop the execution of a loop early. So for example, we could have here, if I is equal to 3, break. And here we're using an if statement to check if I is equal to 3. And if I is equal to 3, we're going to use break to stop the execution of the loop. Once break is encountered, the loop is going to stop, and execution is going to jump down to the first statement below the loop. So we can save our program and try it out. And now we get 1, 2, 3 as output, followed by loop done. And what's going on here is that when I is equal to 3, we run break. And break is going to stop the loop, and execution is going to jump down here. So we can use break to stop the execution of the loop at any point we want. So maybe we could use break if some sort of unexpected error occurs and we need to stop the execution of our loop early. There's also a keyword called continue, and the continue keyword is going to skip over the execution of the remainder of the loop body. So here if we had continue, and then before continue, we had I plus equals 3. What's going to happen here is that when I is equal to 3, we're going to increment I by 3. And then continue here is going to cause us to skip over the execution of the remainder of the loop body. So this statement here is not going to be executed. We could save our program and test it out. And now we get 1, 2, 3, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what's happening here is that when I is equal to 3, we increment I by 3, and I will now be 6. So because we're using continue, this I plus equals 1 statement is not going to execute, and I is going to be equal to 6 the next time the loop body executes. So here we're going to print 6, and we'll get 6 in our output. And then the loop proceeds as expected from there. So we can use continue to skip over the execution of the remainder of the loop body. Now, not every loop needs to have a counter variable that will help to execute the loop a predetermined amount of times. For example, we can have what's called an indeterminate loop that will execute an unknown number of times. For example, we could create a loop that will continue to execute until the user enters stop. So here we'll have a variable called text, and text will initially be set to an empty string. Then we'll output enter stop to quit. Then we'll have a loop that's going to continually check text, and so long as text doesn't equal the string stop, the loop is going to continue. Now each time the loop body executes, we'll prompt the user to enter a string with enter text using the input function. So the input function is going to prompt the user with the string enter text. It's then going to pause to allow the user to enter a string. That string is going to be stored into the text variable here. We could then print out text. So here we could have print text. So this loop is going to execute an indeterminate number of times. So because we can't know when the user is going to enter stop, we don't know how many times this loop is going to execute. So we could save our program and test it out. We could enter in test ABC 1, 2, 3, and then enter and stop. And the loop is then going to stop. So again, we call this an indeterminate loop because we're not sure how many times it's going to execute. So this is how we can use while loops in Python.
Check out portfoliocourses.com, where we'll help you build a portfolio that will impress employers.